The frustration of following every rule and still feeling exhausted, the fatigue that lingers after sleep, the afternoon brain fog, and the weight that refuses to budge despite every effort. These symptoms reflect a physiological storm where the endocrine system struggles to maintain balance. This turbulent environment is the result of constant internal pressure. Traditional dieting often treats food as simple fuel, focusing entirely on caloric restriction. This model fails because it ignores the complex chemical signals that govern female endocrinology. The true driver of this imbalance is the nexus between glucose, insulin, and cortisol. When blood sugar levels crash and spike, the adrenal glands are stimulated to release cortisol to mobilize stored energy. Under chronic stress, the body prioritizes survival over reproduction. This diagram shows the progesterone steal, the process where the body is physically diverting the raw materials meant for reproductive hormones to manufacture stress hormones instead. Addressing hormonal symptoms with calorie counting is a biological mismatch. To stabilize, the body requires specific biochemical instructions to signal the adrenal glands to stand down. The hormone plate provides an architectural framework carefully designed to deliver those specific biochemical instructions directly to the endocrine system. This geometric breakdown partitions the plate: 50% non-starchy vegetables for detoxification, 25% lean protein, and 25% complex carbohydrates. These ratios slow gastric emptying, creating a steady horizontal line for blood sugar that prevents rapid insulin surges. Specific minerals within the vegetable portion, like magnesium, provide the metabolic spark required for health. Magnesium improves the sensitivity of insulin receptors, helping the body manage glucose with less circulating insulin. This stabilization is critical for the ovaries. By keeping insulin low, the body prevents the excess production of androgens that often drives conditions like polycystic ovary syndrome. Ensuring a gradual entry of glucose into the blood, the plate halts the adrenal alarm system. This shift allows the body to resume the production of reproductive hormones without competition from cortisol. To understand how these raw materials are utilized, we must look at the microscopic level, where the physical creation of a hormone begins. After a meal, dietary lipid molecules absorb through the gut lining into the bloodstream. These fats serve as the essential scaffolding for the endocrine system. Healthy fats from sources like avocado and seeds are non-negotiable. Without them, the body lacks the primary building blocks for steroidal hormones. This structural web shows how the body converts dietary cholesterol into pregnenolone, the mother hormone. From this single precursor, the body synthesizes estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. Minerals act as the genetic cofactors for this process. Zinc, for example, is required to synthesize the follicle-stimulating and luteinizing hormones that govern the entire menstrual cycle. Without the integration of healthy fats and these mineral catalysts, the body physically lacks the raw materials required to maintain a healthy reproductive cycle. Once a hormone like estrogen has completed its signaling function, it travels to the liver for metabolic deactivation. If these hormones are not cleared, they remain active in the blood. This leads to a state of estrogen dominance, where high levels of circulating hormones cause inflammation and tissue sensitivity. The 50% vegetable portion of the plate provides the targeted therapy the liver needs for this process, specifically through green phytonutrients. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and kale contain glucosinolates, which the body metabolizes into indole 3-carbinol and sulforaphane. This diagram illustrates Phase 1 and Phase 2 detoxification. First, the liver alters the reactive hormone. Then, using sulfur-based compounds from the vegetables, it encases the hormone in a water-soluble barrier, neutralizing its biological activity. A plate dense with these phytonutrients provides the exact chemical machinery required to deactivate hormones and prevent systemic toxicity. Once the liver has neutralized the estrogen, the hormone is sent into the gut for final elimination from the body. The gut contains a specific collection of bacteria called the estrobolome, which is responsible for the final clearance of these processed hormones. Gut dysbiosis produces an enzyme that unzips neutralized estrogen, allowing the active hormone to leak into the bloodstream. But complex fibers from the hormone plate act as a trap, binding the estrogen for safe excretion. Probiotics from fermented foods support this by increasing microbial diversity, which actively reduces the level of those unzipping enzymes and strengthens the gut barrier. Final elimination in the gut is the last gatekeeper of balance. If hormones cannot exit the body here, the entire endocrine system begins to back up. Zooming out to the level of the whole body, we can see a system where the liver, gut, and bloodstream are communicating and clearing waste effectively. Maintaining this coordination requires shifting the plate's ratios to match the changing biochemical tides of the 28-day menstrual cycle. During menstruation, prioritizing iron-rich greens compensates for blood loss. In the luteal phase, increasing complex carbohydrates helps maintain the steady glucose levels needed to support progesterone production. These needs shift again during the transition to perimenopause, where higher protein intake helps maintain muscle mass, and phytoestrogens provide gentle support for declining hormone levels. Consistent intake of these micronutrients and healthy fats fortifies the cellular architecture. By providing the liver with the specific sulfur compounds needed for phase 2 conjugation, the body can neutralize synthetic chemicals like BPA and pesticides before they can bind to receptor sites. This biochemical resilience protects the endocrine system from the modern environmental disruptors found in plastics and the food supply. By mastering the logic of the hormone plate, a woman moves from reacting to her symptoms to actively directing her lifelong endocrine vitality.